Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Quarterdeck Arcade. Today is Sunday, June 30th, 2024. And first off, want to apologize for last week. Missed show. I just wasn't feeling well at all last week, so I took a day. I took a me day, and I feel like I've earned it. So it was a nice restful day for me last week. But I'm back. I'm back today. Today, all we're going to do is we're going to build the big buck hunter, which has basically been here since last Monday. And I've been chomping at the bit to get it built, but as my tight schedule is, I haven't been able to get around to it. So I did have a couple of days off, Thursday and Friday, but I focused more on other projects to get those done rather than projects down here. Yeah, what an interesting time. I'm fairly up to date with what's going on in the home arcade community. I do watch the streams while I work out. So I'm aware of some of the various news items that have gone around. I'm aware of all the leaks that have been coming out. I take it all with a grain of salt. I'll believe what happens when it happens. So I'm not going to get all excited about stuff. So I'm not going to go into those at all, but I will talk a little bit about what I've been doing. I did have a stream going earlier today. Those of you that joined in on it, I was working on the arcade. I feel like I haven't spent enough time down here, doing what I want to do as far as making changes. I've owned these Blacklight LED strips that Chaotic BPR recommended to me, and they've been sitting in a box on a table in the back for 3 or 4 months now. And I finally got around to hanging those. I bought 4 of them. I bought a set of 4. And 2 of them I got up on Thursday, I think it was, and ran the cables for that and everything. And then just this morning, if you caught my earlier live stream, I put the other 2 up because I felt like I needed 4 instead of 2. So I was going to try and start with 2, and that didn't quite work. But the result is, let me go to a multi-camera angle here. Oh, my phone is actually a camera now. So I got to figure out how to. Let's see if I can. Well, I was gonna. There we go. All right, so I'm going to turn my black lights on. There we go. So you can see echoing. I'm just looking at the chat for the first time now. Let me know if anybody else other than Prince Vinny is hearing echoing. I shouldn't be putting out an echo based on my settings, but let me know. Okay, Ted, thank you. So yeah, I've got the black lights done. There are 4 of them, 1 forward, 1 back, and then 2 on the side. So I feel like I got adequate coverage for the entire arcade. Granted, it's daylight here, so the black lights, even if it was dark, the black light's not going to show up well on camera. So, but that was a project I worked on and finished up this morning. I'm glad to have that done. But I'm pretty proud of that project. So I control it via app on my phone. Okay, notifications off. Let me go back to the camera. All right, so the camera's still working. Good. So yeah, that was a fun little project I've been meaning to get around to, and I got it done. So It looks a lot better in person. So even in daylight, standing here in the arcade with all those lights on, it does look amazing. Only thing I'm a little bit worried about, and this is something I tested a little earlier, is I let the black lights be on for quite a bit of period of time. I wanted to see how hot they got, and they do get warm. So no, that was only after about 20 to 30 minutes of having them on for any significant amount of time. And so I reached up there and I felt one of them, and yeah, it does get pretty hot. So I do have a link in the description of this stream to those black lights that I bought off Amazon. If you're interested in improving your arcades, just know that these lights do get a little warm. And so if you're going to mount them somewhere, put them somewhere where there's not any combustibles near. Just I think you're fine mounting them on a ceiling or a wall as long as there's nothing else around it. But for my purposes here, I think they'll suit me just fine for momentary ambiance when I'm down here playing. So, so the Big Buck Hunter. You can see it on the screen here. I've got it all set up. I got everything staged, ready to go, rock and roll. So I plan on doing that. I want to tell you guys something that I discovered this week. And thanks to PD7, shout out to PD7 for pointing this out, because he's been buying these ONN LED strips from Walmart. Well, I had been buying LED strips from Walmart as well, the ones labeled Monster. And I learned something, when I bought the ONN. The ONNs, the strip that they're using, the adhesive strip, backing strip, is a lot better than the Monster. So if you're going to decorate the back or line the back of your cabs with ambient lighting, LED lighting, go with the ONN and don't get the boxes labeled Monster at Walmart, because here's the thing. With these Monsters, when power is removed from them, they forget what color you had them set to. There's no memory. With the ONNs remember the last color that you used. And that for me is a big deal, because I cut power in this arcade every day, every night before I go to bed. There's no power down here. So even the LED strips, they're all shut off, but they lose the Monsters lose their color setting. So what I found is by trying the ONNs, and I put them on the back of the Burger Time, because the strip that I had on the Walmart, or the Monster strip that I had on the back of Burger Time, fell off because the adhesive was so bad. So two things wrong with this. One, they don't retain the color setting. Two, the adhesive power strip is, in my mind, worthless. This is a better strip, in my opinion, the ONN. So I highly recommend it. This was only $5 at Walmart, and you actually get a little bit more. You get 10 feet. This is 6.5. So my recommendation, ONN, for your ambient lighting on the backs of your arcades. I just wanted to point that out. Let's check the chat before I dive into the build. Let's see who's here. Let's see. Ted's here. Welcome, Ted. Welcome. Prince Vinny is here. I'm sorry if you're encountering echo. I don't know where that's coming from. Others are reporting they're fine. So let me know if you're still having a problem. Fireside Arcade, good morning. Welcome. Zero Redux, always good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Okay, Prince Vinny, thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Fireside, you've had great luck with Govee. Yeah, I've heard some good things about Govee as well. I haven't tried one yet. I might try one later. I have a plan. I have something in my head about what I want to do in the center of my arcade, and it involves PVC pipe and some maybe some Govee light strips. So that might be where I try the Govee. So we'll see. Dumper Squid, welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So I appreciate everybody showing up. Again, apologize for last week. It's one of those days, you know, you wake up, you go to the gym, you get home from the gym, and you're like, I can't do anything else today. That's the way it was with me. Today, pretty much the same thing. Well, not as bad as last week, but I went to step on the treadmill to do my regular Sunday run, and I stood there for like 5 minutes before I shook my head and said, "This ain't happening. It's not happening. I can't run." So I did get a good strength workout in. That's good. About an hour and a half worth of strength work, and I just didn't do any amount of running. If I'm feeling up to it, I might go running later when it's warmer outside. I've been doing a lot more running outside as the temperatures warm up here, and but I do have to do yard work after this stream. So that's on the agenda and the docket for today. Right now, the only official thing I got to do, and that is to mow the grass. So I can't have, especially a dog area, because as you folks that have dogs know, the areas that they patrol outside are well fertilized, and mine is no exception. So, Boofman, welcome. Thanks for coming. Cornercade, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I thought you were working the next 7 days. Shouldn't you be at work? Yeah, I'm not changing my cameras. My cameras are fine the way they are. I've spent enough on streaming equipment for now anyway. So if you're working today, the gal and I were actually out by you yesterday, and if I'd have thought about it, I'd have stopped by and harassed you a little bit. We went to Red Robin there and had dinner after the Waterford balloon non-event. Oh, let's talk about that for a second. Have you ever been to a balloon fest or a hot air balloon fest where there were no balloons? That would be me. I went to one yesterday. And granted, the weather played a factor. I mean, it was windy, and if it's too windy, the balloons won't go. So, and they weren't scheduled to lift until 6 p.m. and we got there at noon. So we were already by 4 o'clock. We're looking at each other like they're not doing anything. They're not even pulling out the balloons. So and my gal has to get up early to go to work. I get up early to go work out. So we just decided to bug out at 4, and then we went to the Red Robin there by Southridge. By the way, I heard there was a bunch of excitement over at Southridge again last night. Heard some things on the scanner that been going on the last couple of nights. Some fights breaking out. What's going on with malls? Malls used to be a cool place to hang out. I don't know. It's all going down the toilet. Okay, so we're working 11 to 7. I'm not going to be back on the south side today. Yeah, Red Robin is our favorite burger joint. We absolutely love it. So any chance we get to go to that particular Red Robin, because the service there is excellent. The Red Robin in Brookfield is actually closer to us, but we've had terrible, terrible, terrible experiences there, and more than one. So we just decided it's worth the drive to go to Greenfield, and any chance or any excuse we get, which yesterday provided a good one because we were down in the Waterford area. So boy, did we load up. And we didn't eat lunch yesterday either because we were just kind of hanging around. My gal has diet restrictions, so she can't eat the food at the food vendors there. So we were starving by about 4 o'clock. So we were ready. Let's see. What kind of camera do I use? It's a Logitech. I don't know the model number off the top of my head. Let me look, see if this will tell me. Oh, okay, C922 ProStream webcam. So a Logitech C922 ProStream webcam. That's what I use for the desk camera. And for the cameras in the arcade, those are lower models. Those are, well, no, those are also C922s. I thought I had lower resolution cameras there, but I guess I don't. So they're all C922s. That's what I use. Yeah, it was a bust. And they're getting raked over the coals. And it's not really their fault, but some of it is. I mean, this Balloon Fest used to be a 3-day event. So if they missed one day, they had 2 other opportunities to get the balloons off the ground. Now it's just one day, and they only schedule a lift in the evening to coincide with their what they call a glow event. And so one opportunity to lift, and if you don't get it, there's nothing there. But everybody is raking them over the coals because this has happened now for like 2 or 3 years straight. No lift. And we didn't know that. We just went thinking, hey, balloons, let's go. So yeah, it was a bust. And I don't think we're going to go back next year unless they change around their schedule of events. Lower the brightness. Well, I can lower my key light. But if you're thinking I'm red, I am red. I got a lot of sun. Anyway, that's that. Oh, Danny, I've got the lights on right now because of the build. So that's why. What I've got the house lights on right now. That's why you don't see me standing out as much. Well, they were giving helicopter rides there too, Zero. $70 a pop, and we weren't paying $70 for a 5-minute helicopter ride. So anyway, all right, let's get to it. I don't want to belabor anything. Ow, ow, ow. Killed my elbow there. All right, so I've got all my cameras up. House lights are already on. I've already got my roaming mic on because I just didn't want to have to flip with the sound settings in the middle of it. So, okay, a couple of things about this Big Buck Hunter. I bought this from Kohl's when it was priced at $4.99, and then I got $100 Kohl's cash. You all know I've posted about it in the channel. I used that Kohl's cash to buy these jeans that I'm wearing right now. So the Kohl's cash went to buy these jeans because I needed smaller jeans because I'm getting smaller, which is kind of the opposite of what usually happens when you get older. You get bigger, but not me. I'm getting smaller. So, the box arrived really is one of the best shipped boxes I've ever had. If you look at my security cam video of the UPS driver dropping it off, the guy manhandled it from the curb to my porch, and very delicately. I mean, he was as gentle with it as he could be. Placed it gently on my porch. Not a ding on the box exterior. So it was shipped beautifully. I give a lot of credit. You have a lot of great success with UPS. I've had a couple of instances with FedEx that, but I think everybody does. So what I'm really looking forward to this is I don't have a lot of experience with Big Buck Hunter, but I think the cabinet's really beautiful and would be a great addition to my arcades. That's why I got it. It's been on my list for a while. So it has Dragon's Lair. Haven't gotten that one yet. Still working on it. But you know, just put some things out on the box. It's 5 feet 8 inches tall. I'm guessing that's when assembled. 4 games. You got your 2 rifles here. And then the streamlined riser because it's a deluxe. The thing that I don't have yet is the replacement marquee from Retro 530. I'm going to be ordering that at some point. He's got them available again. I was kind of hoping, here's what I'm waiting for with that. 4th of July is coming up. I'm hoping that Retro 530 has a coupon code for the 4th of July. And if he does, then I'll order it then. I'm just trying to be smart about that. I would have loved to have it here before, while I assemble it, to have it ready to go, but it is what it is. I'll just put it together and then replace it later. Corner Kid, I tried to use your code and it only works for, it didn't work for the marquee. So buy stuff mod is another thing that I'll probably do down the line too, the 19-inch mod. Yes, I will be getting the marquee, definitely. All right, let's crack it open here. So that's a little background. It was a Kohl's purchase. Now, if you look these up now, they are, of course, back up to $5.99. So, you know, I was kind of afraid of that, but I jumped on it at the right time. So, always exciting opening a new arcade one-up. I don't know about you guys, but I like cracking these things open and getting to work. I could have had this unpacked well before and ready to go, ready to assemble. But what's the fun in that, you know? You guys get to see me unbox this stuff real time. All right, so arcade one-up, typical pack and ship. You got your instruction manuals. This looks like filler. No, it's got something in it. Oh, these are the guns. All right, so the very first thing on the side are the guns. Pretty colors. All right. I like to get everything unpacked and ready to go as I unbox. I'm going to assume this is the monitor and other parts and pieces. All right. Got our silicone, don't need that. And then we got a box on the side. And these are the side panels. So well packed. You know, obviously, if you don't have any external box damage, your chances of having an unscathed one-up is very high. So I don't need to remind everybody who's been with me in this journey since I got the Burger Time. Y'all saw what the condition of that box was, and I knew then that I had some damage somewhere. All right, let's get this box out of the way. up there. What I usually like to do when I do these build videos is I like to prop the box up as part of the background to the video. So that's what we'll do in this case. All right. All right. Change the camera view here. You can all see the parts and pieces. I've heard about some PCB issues with this cabinet. I'm not sure, what's going on there. I'm hoping because I have my arcade in a cool basement that I won't have any overheating issues, but who knows? We'll find out, eh? So now I like, at this stage in the unboxing, I like to just go through the boxes and pull everything out. And here we have our parts. In this box, we have our parts. And we have what look to be our, we got our J. Got some of our support panels. The kit that holds on the control panel. The J's. It's nice doing this build because now I've got this table here for my smaller my brain is not working today. My numbskull and my New Wave Toys stuff. So I got plenty of space to operate in. So I've got K panels, support panels, and then the J's to hold the control panel. It's weird as you build enough of these over time. It's not really weird. It's just you build enough of these over time, and you know what panel goes where pretty much. And but I always like to follow the manual. I really do. Because there's always going to be one step that you miss, even though you swear up and down you know how to put these things together blindfolded. Always exciting unboxing one of these. We'll do the parts last. Let's open this up. This is pretty light. This would be the control panel. So here we have our control panel. Big buck hunter. So power, you got your power and your volume and your 2 slots for the guns, and then I'm guessing these are player select buttons. You get your speaker right here in dead center. Contractor garbage bags are a key to any Arcade 1-Up build, so that you can just readily trash everything and take it up when you're done. Set the control panel aside. And the box. The boxes I break down later. I won't bore you with that activity. Let's get the guns out here. Nice. Trying not to scratch the lens. And I have read online, some folks recommend putting a piece of foam in the bottom of the holes that you put these guns in when the cabinet's assembled, just for ease of or protecting this lens right here. Pump to reload, Big Buck Hunter Pro. All right. So that would be the orange. This looks like a different connector than what was on the T2, but I could be wrong because it's been a while since I looked at a T2. By the way, guys, I was going to buy a non-working T2 off of Marketplace here locally. And I have T2 guts to put in it to make it work again. And I almost had a fully functional T2 cabinet again here in the arcade. But he sold it. It was only 95 bucks. This looks like just, I don't think there's anything in here. You never know. I think it's just filler. Yeah, there's nothing in there. It's just filler. All right. Let's see. Just scrolling back through the chat. No, I've always, Prince Vinny, I've always had the joust. In fact, there's a story behind that joust right now that happened this morning. I was moving things around to put the lighting up, and I must have pulled one of the LED cables for my front lit riser, and I shorted it out and blew the transformer, or the brick. So I gotta replace the LED strip in that front riser for joust. Kind of upset about that, but it's an easy fix. I just got to order another one off Amazon. But I've had the joust for a while, and I've replaced the monitor in it as well. Yeah, Prince Vinny, I did want to make that into a mod project, but a simple mod. I was just going to put my T2 PCB to replace the T2 PCB that was bad in there, and it was just going to be a T2 machine for me. But things don't always pan out. You got to be quick on Marketplace sometimes. All right, let's open up this box. This has got to be the monitor. Fragile. Anybody get that joke? Fragile. Must be something important. Come on. save some of those foam pieces just to see what people were talking about with the guns. But and I love my Space Invader shooter cabinet. I love it. That's the T2 that I had, that I gutted for the retro shooter mod. And that video is available if you guys want to take a look at it. But I had fun doing that. I'll save those two pieces right there. All right, so we have our bezel, monitor, coin door, and whatever else they threw in this box. Some of this shrink wrap stuff is just annoying to have to get all that shrink wrapping off. So we have our coin door, our fake coin door, which I may wind up replacing with one from Retro 530 at some point. Coin door, which is I1. So here's the main monitor assembly with the artwork. Avoid does, shoot bucks, pump to reload after every shot. Okay. And my thing about this plastic protection, which is weird, it looks like they did this a little different. Let me look. Oh no. Yeah, they did do it different. So it's not under the screws anymore. That's fascinating, but well received, very welcome, because now I don't have to unscrew. Because one of my steps in assembling these cabinets is I always unscrew the bezel screws by about 2 or 3 turns just so I can get the plastic up over it. That's before I drop these in the cabinet. Now it looks like Arcade 1-Up has done it so that the plastic's not underneath the screws. I don't know if that's just my product or if it's true of any big buck hunter build. I'll set that in the back here. Now you got to unstick these. So we have our H panel with the serial number and registration and all kinds of FCC information. They've actually put this in its own bag. I don't recall the H panel ever being in its own bag. Here we have their marquee. The arcade went up. This is B panel. And this looks very generic. I can see why people like the Retro 530 marquee better. So that's the marquee. Nothing to write home about. No lights, nothing. Ugh. I kind of hate putting it together. I want to get this cabinet built. I want to get it a part of my arcade, and I'll worry about the marquee replacement later. So we have our P panels. Got the G panel, which is usually one of the first things you do, because that's the base. We're almost ready to start assembly. Da, 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 da. Suppose I could fire up some background music. So we got L and K, another K panel. So we got 3 Ks, 1 L, 2 Ps, 2 Js. And an M panel. This has got to be for the marquee. All right. Getting out our parts. Okay, that we don't use. That we do use, spare parts. And we got our coin door kit, our dowels. These would be our B screws. Everybody's familiar with the B screws. And then E. And screw caps. Nice. We got screw caps. D. Yes, I do line them up alphabetically. Monitor mounts. Okay. And then we got the power brick. We'll set that aside. That's not till the very end. Okay. Now let's do the panels. Where'd this come from? You guys are, I'm glad you're keeping yourselves occupied in the chat. You know what that music's too loud. I just want to put something in the background. Okay. Now let's do the side panels. So here we have our back panel, F2. The other part of the back panel would be F1. Yeah. Just a show note too while I'm at it. It looks like every one of these panels are individually wrapped. Oh my gosh. So just a show note, in a couple of weeks, I will be in Indianapolis again for the NASCAR race, providing coverage support for the local newspaper there. This would be the kick panel. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. Nice. Nice color. I'll post about the show. It's the weekend of July 19th. I'll be out of town doing that for 3 days, covering the Brickyard 400. Always a fun race. Now, the last few years they've been going on the road course. Now they're going to go back to the oval. I kind of preferred the road course, just because it made for better photographs. But it is what it is. One of the side panels. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Man, I know video is probably not going to do it justice, but that is so awesome looking. I love the scheme on this. So this would be my E1 panel. Beautiful artwork. That's one of the reasons I got the cabinet was, and for me, for this space, a lot of it is having the ambiance, the good-looking artwork, and so I'm proud to have this in my arcade now. Weight of the guns. I obviously can't judge it. These are really light. These are light. So I don't know how heavy or light the guns on the original Buck Hunter were. And this is the other side panel. Duplicate artwork. Just beautiful. No blemishes or scratches or anything. Pristine. So that would be D1. A lot of plastic. And these will be the lower panels. Oh man, the artwork on this cabinet is just amazing. Again, I don't have a sense for, I mean, I've seen the original cabinets, Big Buck Hunter cabinets at the Garcade, and so I don't know if this is accurate side art, but I can tell you it's beautiful side art. I know for some, a little bit myself included, like to have arcade accurate artwork. And if you can't get it, well, get it as beautiful as possible. So lower side panel, beautiful. I could do without the logos at the bottom, but oh well. And then the last lower piece. Same thing. Gorgeous. Love it. All right. I think we're about ready to get her done, eh? Bag's getting pretty full. Let's take this out of the bag. So we'll take the control panel out. So what do we have here on the control panel? We have our cables for our guns right here. Speaker is basically contained in this assembly. If I had time, I'd take this apart and see what's in there. But then we have a USB. I assume this is for speaker power. And another USB. So we got two USBs. Oh, probably for the guns. Oh, here's speaker. This cable right here. And then the USB ports are probably for the guns. All right. Pretty. I'll get the guns out of the way here. Probably don't need those till last. And let's get started, eh? This, like any good assembler, gets out the instructions. So we got the owner's manual, we got all of the language ones, which I usually toss. So languages, warranty information. We all know the warranty expires fairly quickly on these. I don't know what this is talking about the app. And then the manual we care about, which is the assembly. I usually only save the owner's manual and the assembly manual. The rest of it is just extraneous garbage to me. I can set the owner's manual aside. All right. So it wants me to put dowels in right away for all of the pieces, including the base. I learned a long time ago that you try to orient your pieces the way it is in the book. Helps you not make errors while you're putting these together. All right, G's done. Now all the K's. Putting all the dowels in. Y'all save the parts, like the spare parts kits. Like me, I save them, put them in a box in case I need an extra dowel somewhere down the line, which has happened. I always save my extra parts. Even the wall anchors. I don't know why I'm keeping those, because as far as I know, nobody uses the wall anchors. And for the ones the cabinets that have risers, I never use the screws to screw the riser into the cabinet. I do not want to damage the sidewall of the side art. I did that to my Pac-Man, my first cabinet ever. I was so sore about that. I don't need all that. It's just me. I don't have any kids roaming around, knocking things over. All right, moving right along, the L panel. I kind of take a glance look at the screws to make sure they're aligned horizontally so that it can receive a screw, because I have run into instances like this one right here. It looks a little off kilter, so I'll adjust that. Just a little bit. That's a little too much. Okay. All right, down there, down there. So we did the L's, now the two P's. I only have one on either side. Okay, dowels have been placed. Now, I can set these panels aside for now. And I'm going to start with D2 and G. So I'm going to get my B screws out right away. I'm going to need a couple of B's. So I've got my G already. I need D2. That would be this one. So what we're doing now is we're gonna be building the bottom section. And as those of you who own Deluxes know, the bottom section, they come in basically two pieces: the top section with the monitor and control panel, and then the bottom section is basically just the base. And so you assemble the bottom first, then the top, and then you push them together and screw them together. That's basically how the assembly goes. All right, I always got to remember this little crevice here, that's got to be in the back of the cabinet. That's where the back panel goes. So that would be the back of the cabinet. Line it up. Whoa. See? You can't let things go. You can put these together with a helper like Cornercade does. That'd be great. And I do not use a drill. I only use a screwdriver because, especially when assembling, you can use a drill taking them apart, but putting them together, I just don't want to risk. You can't. It is possible to over tighten these and get the screws to fall through the panel, and I don't want that to happen. So I take my time with it. I don't over tighten too much, although it has to be a little bit tight. But there'll come a time where you start feeling it. All right, so that's done. Did that. So 2 K panels. Got to put 2 K panels in. And I always, the labels, I always orient those inward. Okay, that's in. I'll flip this over so the K is on the inside. I don't know, that's just the way I've done it. You don't have to do it that way because these are going to be covered up by panels anyway. I guess it doesn't matter. Or maybe it does because there's screw holes here. I don't know why. Okay, 2 Ks are in. Moving right along, step 4, E2. So it wants me to put the other panel on. Here's E2 right here. Okay. A lot easier assembling side panels or putting the side panels on with these Deluxes. I just have a much better time at it. Put our B screws on this side panel. See, I can see the screw going into the panel. I don't like to over tighten. Just tighten enough to keep the cabinet sturdy. Now Danny likes to use, Cornercade likes to use gloves when he assembles his cabinet. I don't care. Oh, Boofman. Okay, that's good thought there. So you glue the dowels in the 1-ups, and you use seam sealing on the inside of the cab. Interesting. Subwoofer. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I should do that. Yes, yes. I had a 313 in my Ridge Racer, which I sold, Love that thing. Zero. There's no plexi on that, on the Deluxe. So if you look here, it's just the panel. So maybe this is their new coating that they use. It does feel a little bit rough in spots. I don't know if that's by design or if that's just the way it came through the manufacturing process, but there's no plexi. All right, moving right along. Okay, now it wants me to move to the do the kick plate. So we'll do that. So we'll get the eye, we'll get the kick plate, and again, there's a look at the artwork. Try to do it so that you're not getting glare off of it. That's a nice looking kick plate. So we'll get the, and again, if I buy a Retro 530s plate, it should be a direct replacement for this, although I will have to drill additional holes here. Snaps right into place. I'll flip it over. All right. So we need our little kit here for the cone door. Put these on top of the screw holes. When I first had to do a coin door, I'm like, what is all this? What do I do with it? And that's why I read the manual. Now I know about it. But this screwdriver is a little bit big for. Again, I don't ever over tighten. Just tight enough so it doesn't move around. Kind of missed my Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe. That was a beautiful cabinet, and I got it on really cheap from Synergy. But circumstances dictated I needed to raise some money, so we all have to make sacrifices, right? My arcade took a big hit. I sold 10 of my arcade 1-ups in the last 3 months, and didn't want to, but had to. You got to do what you got to do, right? So I'm getting back in the game a little bit. Obviously, there's some that I refuse to sell. I want to keep. All right, coin door is attached. Next step. Slide the kick plate into the assembly. Oh, upside down, upside down. You guys almost got to witness that live. It seems a little tight. Oh. Okay. So now the bottom assembly is pretty much put together, aside from the back panel, but that comes last. And then well, now we have the kick plate in place. Again, I like this better than the riser design cabinets because you had to fumble with this kick plate to get it in place. All right, now we're going to start with the top assembly. And that's going to involve starting with D1. That would be this guy. D1. All right, so we need a couple of the P's. So we need the 2 P's, a K, and an L. Well, basically all the rest of the pieces. And we also need the J. Okay. It wants you to put the J in. I always do J first, the control panel supports, because you can lay the thing nice and flat. So that's the top of the cabinet. And orientation is everything with these J pieces, the control panel supports, because you've got your screw holes for the control panel that come through these, and you got to make sure those are on the top. I got busted by this. One of my, I don't know, first, second, third cabinet build, one of the early ones. I actually mounted these upside down, and I had to go. I got everything done to the point of putting the control panel in, and I wound up having to disassemble everything just to fix these because I couldn't get at the screws in a decent enough manner. I'm just looking for the screws. We need D. Again, making sure your exposed screw holes are facing outward so that when the control panel comes in, you can screw them in. So what I'm going to do, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and get E1, the other side panel, top side panel, and I'm going to put the J in that one right away, so I don't have to mess with it when I'm ready to put that one, that panel on. So this is me altering the order of things a little bit, just for ease of assembly. All right, facing outward there, so my 2 holes are facing up. Now, if you look at these pieces and the holes for the control panel screws are facing downward, you've got a problem. You got to fix that. Always check. Always double check. All right, so the second J piece is in. I'll go ahead and set this back here for now. I need a drink of water. Israel Gaming, welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for the kind comment. I appreciate it. Zero, Joust does have the same games as the Mortal Kombat. And I do like the Joust artwork. But I also like I'm a guy that's into the artwork. So I like the look and feel of the Mortal Kombat 2 artwork. So yes, I realize I don't need the Mortal Kombat 2, but strictly from an artwork standpoint, I would love to have it. That's one of the reasons why I let it go, because I knew I still had the games. Okay, now let's go back to panel D1. And let's start attaching the other. Okay, the P's go on the bottom. Now these pieces are a little different because one of these, and I got tripped up this when I built my first Deluxe, one of these holes, screw holes, is going to be exposed. So what you want to do, you got to make sure your screw holes line up. Like on this. So your first hole on the bottom would be for the dowel. This hole would be for the screw, the B screw. So the key is you got part of it exposed so that when you join these together, your opposite screw is going to come in from the bottom part of the cabinet, and that's how they're held together. And here a drill might be okay because of the awkwardness of holding this panel up, but still I'm going to opt. All right, so that's lined up. I'll get the screw in. I don't know though. These things have holes in them. Now I've only built a couple of Deluxes, so my memory is. I'm going to expose. There's like 4 holes on either side of these. I'm going to. Actually, they're on both sides. Except for this one. Interesting. Whatever, we'll proceed. All right, the 2P panels are in. Got J in already. Let's do K. K is right here. I'm guessing it doesn't matter what orientation you put these in because there's holes on either side. K is in. And we just need to put L. L goes in the bottom, top. Right by. Okay. Okay, so my support panels are in. I got a K, an L, and two P's. All right. Now we move on to the monitor. Now, again, I spoke of earlier, this was kind of a process for me because I undid the screws a little bit just to get the plastic up around them. Well, with this one, I don't need to do that. So I kind of set this piece off to the side and I get the monitor. Before I put this in though, I will peel the plastic up a little bit so that I don't catch any of the plastic in the seat, monitor seat. But for now, we'll flip it over and we'll put the support brackets on. I assume one is for the marquee. And then we need C screws. You want to make sure that these brackets are oriented correctly with the flat end pointing outward. That is a big box, CPU box, PCB. That is huge. It's bigger than I've seen for Arcade 1-Up. Now, you guys can tell me, I'm guessing Big Buck Hunter requires a lot more processing power than your average Arcade 1-Up. We get these brackets on, we can start putting it together. Again, flat part out. You don't want to have to redo these either, which I have had to do. But you know, I've built over 25 of these at any given point, so pretty used to it. Pretty familiar with the process. If I didn't film one of these builds, if I didn't shoot a live video or any other kind of content, I'd probably get these done in an hour and a half. Deluxes make it a lot easier than it used to be. Okay, so all of our brackets are on. Pick up some paper. Now it wants me to seat the monitor in place. I'll do it this way so you guys can see it. Israel, that's awesome. I'll admit, and I've said this on the channel before, when I first saw Arcade 1-Up come out in 2018, I'm like, oh, no way. I'm not getting those. Those look like toys. I was sold when the Pac-Man Legacy came out because that looked a hell of a lot better. So this whole space is for me to relive nostalgia, relive happy moments of my life. And it has done that in spades. So really, really, really happy. I really appreciate your kind words. It's members like you that, you know, make it worthwhile for those of us who stream to do it. All right, this is top. Make sure you orient the monitor correctly. I mean, I half laugh about that, but I have tried to mount it upside down before. See, anything that could go wrong with these, I've pretty much identified and done. And this is where I need this because I can't see. Got to see where the holes line up for this thing. And this thing's straight up and down. It's not leaning. So I apologize if the light is distracting, but I need it. This is actually my nighttime running light. So whenever I go running in the dark, this lamp comes with me. So I can see the sidewalk glitches. Again, I only tighten enough to keep it in there. I don't want to go crazy with tightness. That's just me. You can tighten it however tight you want. You just gotta be careful that you're not stripping the pre-drilled hole. I love new cabinet day. Oh, don't you? It's like Christmas. This thing's been sitting in my basement for almost a full week. Just itching to be built. All right, so we've got our monitor seated in. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. I kind of, as I go, get closer and attach all the components. I like to undo the tape on the ribbon cable, get it flowing forward, just to loosen up some of the kinks. Probably should have kept that one in. Oh well. I'll put it back on. There we go. Okay, monitor is in. Now he wants me to assemble the marquee. So I'll move this down a little bit. So we need the marquee piece, which is B. And we need M, which is this other bracket. And we need to put this, and we need to use one of the white brackets. Let me do that first. I'm going to attach M to B. Again, with these black panels, I need help. I need to see the holes. The lighting, the house lights that I use here are actually LED lights that I can change color with if I wanted to. And they're not the brightest, so the house lighting in here is not too good. Now that I have the black light in, I'm thinking about going back to regular bulbs. I probably should have done this one first. Yes, I need delve. Shit. Good thing I caught that. Four, 2 on either side of the marquee itself. And I need another 4 for the M piece. All right. There we go. Now we can screw in. Yeah, I can't wait to get the Retro 530 marquee. All right, so we've got those pieces together. Now we need to slide them into place. So we'll move our assembly carefully down so that you don't cause the monitor to rip out of the sockets. Okay, I need the H panel and then this assembly. So let's see how this goes. Get in the hole. Here we go. All right, now we need H. There we go. Get in the hole and stay in the hole. All right. So the H panel has to sit flush in the groove that's provided. And it has to be flush here on the other side of the marquee so that when you put the top on, it'll seat properly. All right, step 11 is done. I've already done the J on the opposite panel. So now once we put the other panel on, I've already attached J for convenience. So I stuck that back here. Ooh. I'll put the top on. I do need the light. Just walking around. Oh, speaking of black lights. One thing I need to tell you for out of safety is do not look straight into an LED black light for a long period of time like I did this morning because my vision was screwed up for quite a while after that. Things you should not do. I'll take things you should not do for 100, Alex. Yeah, that was freaky. Come on, snap into place, dude. It's giving me a pain. There it is. Hold. So as I get sides in, I like to just screw them down, and I don't tighten it right away, just tight enough to keep the thing down so it doesn't pop out of place. So maybe the monitor is not seated properly. That's usually what the culprit is. Yep. Looks like it is. There we go. That time it popped. Again, I just get it so that it doesn't move. Next screw is here. And last. So they're all in, all in, snapped together properly. Uh-oh, I've got some paint difficulty here. A little bit of a chip. I'm afraid to scratch it. I'm gonna leave it alone, because if I start nipping away at it, I might pull the paint off. Look, it feels like a sticker. Oh, it is. Oh, I did, oh. It was some of the artwork peeled back. Just a little fraction of an inch. Looking for my clear tape. I'll leave it for now, but yeah, there's a little bit of a nick. I don't know if I did that or don't know what I did with my clear tape. Nope. Bear with me, folks. I just want to, oh, here it is. I just want to stick a teeny tiny piece of clear tape on that to keep it from peeling up. That's a bummer, though. You know, again, it's not something I can prove whether or not it was there. Just a little piece. There. All right, so don't notice it. It looks good. Okay, so let's put another screw there. Up top. Okay, now that I'm confident I have everything lined up, I'll go around and I'll tighten it. Now comes the piece de resistance. Oh, what's that screw? So it wants me to use 2 E screws to go through the H panel. All right, let's see where that is. This is just to make the H panel more secure, I guess. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe it's just because of the way this cabinet is constructed. Okay. Now we're ready to move to the floor. So I'm going to move all my parts and pieces to this other table. And then I'm going to move to the floor. Okay. We'll set this down on the floor. My little marathon blanket, beach blanket that I use for builds. Tables are great. Get them from Walmart. They're cheap. I got 4 of them, and they all serve a purpose. Aim that down a little bit. Okay. So this part you want to do on the floor just to get it together. So you got your bottom section and now the top section. Got a good view there on the camera. That's good. So we need to put dowels in. Cornercade mentioned on his stream, one of his build streams recently, that this is a part that he frequently forgets, and I can see why. But you need to put these dowels in just for extra support. Although some of these dowels look like they're pretty long. I might have to shave them down. We'll see. And then you kind of just glide them together, push them together, make sure that the kick plate is in the groove allotted for it in the top section. All right. It went together quite nicely, actually. And then now what you have to do is you have to put the B screws in on the top portion that goes into that P panel. already got them in there. Actually, it goes in the bottom. You're bolting it to the base. Okay, that side's done. Let me do the other side of the marquee here. Okay, and now we'll do the other side. So you want to do this screw and this screw in the bottom section because that P panel is attached to the top. So you just want to connect them two together. You might need to hold this into place a little tighter just to get it in there. Okay. Ooh. See, I slid off the screw and kind of nicked the artwork again. Slow down, Pete. Okay. All right. She's together. Now we can stand her up. This is a big sucker. One big sucker. All right, so this in closer. So what I have to do is I have to do the screws on the other side of the monitor because this is the side that we stuck on last. So let's get our screws for that. I'm gonna need my light. Try to do this so that you guys could see it, but yeah, you guys are good. Okay. Sometimes these go in at a slight angle. See, that's okay as long as it's doing its job of holding. Oh man. How bad did I preach to you guys? I don't know if you can see it. No, you probably can't. This is ridiculous. All right. What's wrong with that picture? Oh my goodness. How badly did I preach to you guys about getting those mounted correctly? And here I didn't do it. That's just insane. Insane. Live TV, folks. So that's a gotcha, okay? That's why I say make sure you get that lined up correctly. So now I got to take that out. And it's going to be harder because it's I can't believe I did that. Rookie.
trying to give you guys a view, but not. It's kind of hard. It's kind of awkward getting at these screws with this camera in the way. Rookie mistake. All right, brackets out. What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm going to set this to the side so I can get at it better. You get like me when you get older and you start getting shaky hand syndrome. And if you are going to make this mistake, make it on the bottom one so it's easier to get at. It'd be funny if my monitor was upside down. No, it wouldn't be funny. Not at all. All right, we're getting there. Get in the hole. Again, awkward because the PCB is in the way. The big fat PCB. Close enough for government work. See, it's going in at a slight angle and I'm nicking my fingers on the PCB. Close enough. All right. My only concern would be when I eventually replace that monitor with one from Buy Stuff Arcades, that it's not screwed up. All right, so the monitor screws are in. Now I got to do the plates. These support plates are kind of crucial into stabilizing the cabinet. So that's what. Give you guys a good view. I got a really crappy piece, but these pieces right here, the support brackets, and you want to put them in so that you have your kind of seated areas on this side. This is your mount, cabinet side. This would be your screw side. So your screws would seat into these holes. And I believe those are also E's. No, those are C's. Of course not. The E's are tiny screws. All right. And you have pre-drilled holes on either side. I usually try to get one going, then two, then three, and then I tighten all four. Okay, leave it a little loose. And I go diagonally. So the second screw I would go, so the first screw would be top right, second screw would be bottom left. Just do it diagonally. And I can tighten the first one. And then the fourth one. All right, one bracket in. Now I'm going to flip this around here. Then I'm going to go in through the other side. Same deal. Start with one corner, get it started. Leave it a little loose. Then you put your second screw in the bottom left. Doesn't matter what order, you just do it, you know. I like to go diagonally. And we'll tighten up this one up here. Okay. All right. So our support is done. Now the next thing it wants you to do is peel off the plastic. So for that, we'll go ahead and readjust our camera again. We'll flip the cabinet around. And you can take a look at the artwork on it. That's a beautiful cabinet. It really is. It is very beautiful. It's going to look good here. And for now, I'm going to keep it front and center, like right here. And then build around this cabinet for the middle section, really, is what I plan on doing. All right, so just back a little bit more. I want to keep this camera in a horizontal position. And I'll move it around when I turn it on and stuff, so you guys get some. So we'll peel this off. All right. Plastic removed. Now it's time to attach the control panel. Now, what I want to do is get all these twist ties off. Get the cables going. So I'm going to assume this cable is for speaker, and the two USBs are for the gun extensions. Put all the cables in. I got my last 4 B screws. Now, it used to be, well, I still don't recommend over tightening, but used to be that was really the case with the plexiglass. You want to line this up so that it's flush against the monitor assembly. Oh, I'm afraid of this. See, you got to check those. See, this is what happens when the screws aren't properly aligned. You get caught. Let's see if this one will go in. Yep, that one will go in. So I got to adjust the lower right. I can't get that screw. And you don't want to force it, okay? Because that's just going to you're going to get frustrated doing that. That's not going in. All right, so we need to look at, and wouldn't you know it, that sucker is I don't know. It's not easy to see because it's there it goes. A little bit of an adjustment. Yep. Just needed a little tweak. That's why it's critical to make sure those screw acceptors are in the proper orientation. I don't know what else to call them, screw acceptors. I'll tighten it down a little bit. All right. So cable connections. Again, trying to involve you guys in the process here. Forgetting my camera shakiness. Proper protocol would be to take the camera off the screen while I do this, but oh man. All right. So what does it have us do? It has us attach the ribbon cable. And we have our ribbon port here and we have our little notch there. So we find the notch on the ribbon cable and then we match it up. Should slot right in. There it goes. So the ribbon cable is connected. It had me in the previous instruction. It had me put screw cap covers on the. We'll do that at last. All right, so sound goes into the sound speaker on the PCB. So that takes care of sound. Actually, you're not seeing that. All right. Then we have two USB cables. We have one on the left, one on the right. So green is this side. Orange, I don't think it makes a difference because it doesn't say. Actually, 1 and 2. So do we make the green one the port 1? And the orange one port 2? Okay. So the gun extensions are in. Now we got to connect power. Whew. I don't know about you guys. I'm tired. I said it earlier at the start of the stream. I'm just exhausted from everything I did yesterday. All right. Move this back a little bit. So we're going to run our power cable into power on the PCB. And then we'll attach all of our back panels. So we need to get panel F2. And then we need to push through the power. Come on. Be nice. You got to pop the plastic piece to the end receptacle, power receptacle, through the cardboard. Can be a little tricky. Sometimes it's really super easy. Sometimes it's not. This one was a little bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Screw that back panel in. Now we're gonna assume this all works, right? So should have no problem screwing this all in. Got dog hair in my cabinet. All right. Two at top, one in the center. Okay. And we're going to put the top panel F1 on. There are 4 screws for that. A lot of these electrical warnings now. Okay. So we're over 2 hours now, or 2 hours 10 minutes. So a little bit slower because I stop and talk and drink water. I imagine this, just by myself, would have taken probably about an hour to an hour and a half to throw together. And that's generally the time it takes to do one of these. Again, it got easier with Deluxes and XLs actually, because you're basically building 2 pieces and then putting them together. Okay. So we have this whole bag of screw cap covers. I don't know if I want to put these on right now, but I will do the front. So the reason why I say I don't know if I want to do them all right now is because I'm thinking ahead to the marquee replacement and the monitor replacement. I don't want to have to pop these out. I don't think they're too hard to get out. So you get these nice screw cap covers. And I'm going to assume you can probably pop them out, but you got to be careful about, the finish. You don't want to screw that up. Maybe I shouldn't have put those on. Oh well. I'm gonna leave them off for now. Okay. Okay, so wants me to connect the power brick as the next step. I guess the guns are the last. I'm gonna have enough room to my regular power. No. Bummer. Have no fear. I have a plan for just these types of scenarios. All right. Now I got it. Got power to the brick. And now we connect the guns. These are labeled are N1 and N2, but I didn't pay attention to which one was N1 and N2. I'm going to assume just by going on off the box that the green one's on the... Yep. Okay, so the I don't think it's catching anything in there. You got to be careful seating that in there. Just don't slam the gun in there so the butt hits, or not the butt, but the end of the rifle hits like a piece of wood or something. Making our gun connections. Got to get these oriented correctly. Right there. Okay. She's assembled. What do you say we fire this bad boy up? See if it starts. Turn off the house light. Got audio, that's good. Screen looks good. Nice little animation. All right, let's see here. Game controls. Aim your gun to scroll through the game. Oh, I didn't get to see that. Aim your gun to scroll through the game list. Pull trigger to choose game. Follow game controls below for each game. Hold player 1 and player 2 down for 5 seconds to return to the main menu. Makes sense to me. So the high scores. Let's turn the volume up a little bit. What am I doing here? Let's say, is this even playing? Oh, here we go. Choose your big buck.
Let's go hunting. Welcome to Caribou Adventure. They will be hunting caribou.
Shoot the bulls, don't shoot the cows.
Pick a spot.
I got to figure you got to reload.
Oh, I thought you had them.
I can't. No.
Hey,
Boy, do I need calibration or I'm a terrible shot.
hey, hey, hey.
Head and heart. Okay.
Reload. You're winging.
I suck at this, but it's fun. Haven't gotten one yet.
You sight that rifle?
Yeah. Is there a calibration here that I need to do? Gotta calibrate, yeah. Oh man, how do you navigate this menu? So we're going through the calibration process. Again, I'm unfamiliar with this game, so where do you turn off the screen looks fine. I don't see. I don't see an area to turn off reload. The screen looks good. Let me try moving this camera a little bit. It probably doesn't make it look any better, but it's. Let's try doing this. I'm darkening the lens here a little bit. So you guys got to tell me, how do you turn off the reload?
It's a great day to go hunting. Got it. Welcome to Whitetail Adventure. Today we'll be hunting for whitetail. West Virginia.
Easy mode? Okay. I'll try that.
Now we'll try it. We'll try it in easy mode.
No such thing as a bad
Does seem a lot better calibrated now. Go back to antelope.
Let's go hunting. Welcome to Antelope Adventure. Pick a spot.
Okay.
You're going to be looking for him.
Yeah, I need to get used to this game.
G.
No.
A. N. W. F.
I got to get one.
Buddy, you need some glasses.
Apparently I do.
Nailed it.
Ah, yes. Shit.
That's as fine as it gets. Yeah, you're the new hunter hero.
Yay, I got one.
That's one.
Ooh.
That's two.
Yeah. Now I'm getting the hang of it.
That was a good-eye shot. You really nailed that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get a 19-inch screen for this, I think. I need a bigger screen.
Hero.
So I think that's going to be, I don't know. I kind of want the marquee too, but I might go for the monitor first.
Nailed it.
Damn, I'm terrible.
Wow, that was picture perfect. Yeah, you're the new hunter hero.
Pretty girls.
Well, hunt bonus.
Boy, reloading after every shot would suck on this.
New Mexico. Let's keep going.
All right. Let's
There's
take a
more
look
good
at the
hunt.
menu here and see what we have. All right, so the game menu itself. Get your exit. Big buck girls. So I guess you could turn the girls on or off. Skill level. We found or we learned that setting it to easy removes the restriction to have to pump before or reload before every shot. Get gun calibration, very critical to do when you first set this up, so you're on point with your shots.
I'm guessing high scores is to I don't know what that means. It's telling me how to, I guess it's how it's keeping score, really. Turn-based, shootout, I don't know. Then reset menu, I assume resets the settings back to the factory. So let's look at the games. So we got Big Buck Hunter Pro, Big Buck Hunter Pro Open Season, Big Buck Safari, and Big Buck Safari Outback. So it kind of looks like, even though it looks like 4 games, there's really 2 games. I don't know. Oh, so you can shoot. Okay, I see what they do. Yeah. So when you go into the game, you choose which one you want to go in out of the 2. So the shootout is a competition. Safari is just a single. It says up to 4 players, but you really don't have a 3rd and 4th gun. I wonder if you could add them somehow. Interesting. Really, if I said 4, do players 3 and 4 take turns with the 1 and 2 guns? I wonder if that's the case. Fascinating.
Excellent. Let's go to the hunt. Welcome to the adventure. Just fine.
The hell? Sorry, it's the gun hitting the microphone and causing some noise. Getting better at this. Of course, I got a camera, directly in front of here, so it's kind of awkward, but. The hell? I keep hitting the trigger. I'm flying past options here. I suck. I'm no great. Wonder how my girlfriend would feel about those girls. Only one way to find out. Come play some Big Buck Hunter.
This will be easy. You are the new hero.
I like this game. It's fun. Takes some getting used to. It wasn't a game I played a lot in the arcade.
There is more hunting.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
So I'm going to turn the volume down here. I'm going to do a quick overview or quick review of what my initial thoughts of the cabinet are. Turn the house lights back on. Okay. You can look at whatever camera angle is better. I'll turn it this way a little bit so the camera over here can catch it. The screen is kind of small in my book, so I think I will go with the 19-inch monitor upgrade from Buy Stuff eventually. But just trying to trap targets or sight targets with this small a monitor just isn't cutting it for me. Just my initial thoughts. Now I'll play some more with it and see how used to it I get. But move this one. The guns feel good. They're light. They don't weigh on you. You don't get tired of holding them. Just in the limited time I've played, I haven't gotten fatigued. Just a little bit of awkwardness with the camera in the way, but the speaker sounds great. I like the sound. My impression of the sound is that it's good. I think I will add a Z313 in here, though. I think I want that boom. You know, when you're shooting, you want to hear that. So I think I'm going to add you want to hear it and feel it, really. So I think I'm going to add a Z313 to improve on the bass. Control panel, it took some getting used to because I'm not familiar with this game, getting through the menu. The marquee, enough said. The marquee just blows. It sucks. Okay. Should I kill your plans to buy this? No, because it's a fun game. But they could have done better with this. I think they really could have. I'm thinking maybe they were thinking the light from a potential lit marquee would interfere with the sighting of the guns. I don't know. Who knows? But this is getting replaced definitely from Retro 530. I'm hoping that he does a 4th of July sale. If he does, I'm all over the marquee first, then probably the monitor second. Okay. Kick plate looks great. The blue, I could do without the Arcade 1-Up logo, but it's neither here nor there. The coin door, great. I'll probably replace that with something from Retro 530 as well. So if he has that 4th of July sale, you can count on me getting one of these and a lit coin door. And then all the games listed on the bottom, fine. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. Just the side art, okay. This side art is just beautiful. This is one of the main reasons I got the cabinet. Now, I've said it several times, even in this stream. For me, my arcade is about artwork and about how it looks, how it makes me feel. Am I in an arcade? This reminds me that I'm in an arcade. It brings nostalgia for me. I remember I didn't play this game a lot, but I enjoy it. It's fun, and I think I'm going to enjoy it even more now. So the artwork here is just beautiful with the color scheme and the forest scheme built into it. You got your deer. The game logos I could do without. I understand they got to pay people, so they got to put their logos on there. Raw Thrills did this game originally, but the artwork on both sides is just awesome. And again, it's identical on either side. So cabinet assembly, very straightforward, very simple, very easy to do. You assemble your bottom piece first, then you assemble the top piece, and then you slide the two together and bolt them together. So couldn't be easier. Screw caps, it comes with screw caps. I only put these 4 on the control panel just for looks. But the screw caps on the side, I'm going to leave off for now, because if I'm going to be taking this thing apart to replace the marquee and replace the monitor, I don't want to have to deal with the screw caps. So I'll keep them off to the side, and then I'll do that later. So that'll complete. The gameplay is great. I'm a newbie here when it comes to Big Buck Hunter, so I'm going to have to defer to the experts on gameplay. I think it's fine. I'm having a ball playing it. Bottom line, would I recommend this cabinet? Yes, I would. I'd wait for a sale though, like I did. So if you can get it for this cabinet, if you can get this for $450 or less, I'd go ahead and get it. I don't think it's going to be less than $450 ever. So given the pricing structure that Arcade1Up is using now with its vendors, you'll probably be better off just jumping on it when you can. We saw with the Tron, people waited for that bargain basement type sale with the Tron, and it never happened. I got it through, I think it was Dell, one of those off the wall vendors that were selling Arcade1Ups at the time, had Tron for like $350, something like that, and I immediately snagged it. So because I knew that's probably the lowest I'm ever going to get it at. So Big Buck Hunter, this is a great cabinet so far. I'll probably do a video down the road and give you my impressions after having it for a while and playing it for a while. But my initial impressions are this is a great cabinet, great looking cabinet, and one that you should probably consider getting if a hunting shooter cabinet is something that you've always wanted to have. So that being said, I want to do a little bonus here. So we're going to take one of these light strips and put it on the back. Now I have 10 feet to work with here. So what I typically do is, since this being a new cabinet for me, new form factor really, I'm going to measure out here. So we have 10 feet to work with. And probably about 16.5 inch, or 16. Probably 1.5 feet on the top, 1.5 feet on the bottom. Actually, with the two split panels, I only want to cover one space. So I've got 1.5 feet there, 1.5 feet there, that'd be 3. 12, 24. I'm going to have extra. That's fine. So I typically want 2, but we're going to add 1 to the top here first. And I'll show you how this is done for those of you who've never done it. Again, these ONN $5 10-footers from Walmart work a lot better than the monster ones. I don't know why it's taking me. So in the box, you basically have a foiled wrapped LED strip. There's nothing else in the box. And then you want to open the box or open the tin foil wrapper or package. And you pull out. It has some cable organizing, which I don't use. You got your remote control, which allows you to change colors and modes on the LED strip. And then you got a little documentation here on how to do things. And then the actual LED strip itself, which is coiled. So I undo this right away. This is your USB connection. I will highly recommend a bundle of, if you have limited USB sources in your arcade, I would recommend you get some USB hubs, powered hubs that you could plug these into. And I also use the Amazon 2.0 USB 2.0 extension cords, and they come in packs of 10, and that's what I usually order is a 10 pack. So this is your LED strip. It's connected, and one of the differences between, another difference between the ONN and the Monster is the Monster, you have to put these things together. You have to connect the powered end, the USB end, to the actual LED strip. Here, it's already connected for you. You don't have to mess with that. So that's a plus. So what I typically do is I uncoil a little bit. I start peeling. And you have to be careful when you peel this that you're not peeling the backing away from the LED strip, the adhesive. See, I'm going to need my glasses for this maneuver. Yeah, see? There we go. All right, so the stickiness is still there. So what I do is here I'm going to start. I put about a ½ inch. I put them on about a ½ inch in. It doesn't have to be perfect, although I try to get it as perfect as possible. You just kind of, this adhesive is light years ahead of the Monster because it's really sticking to my fingers now. So you just kind of guide it up. And again, you do however it works for you. And then you got to get up to a corner. I got to make sure I don't cover up the screws. So I kind of loop it here. And then put it as straight across as you can. And then you're going to wind up looping it here on the other side again, and then go down. So you got a little corner loop here in the corners. Now with the Monster version, these come off really easy, but so far with these ONNs, I have not seen this adhesive give. So it's stayed pretty much in place, which I'm really appreciative of. So I don't have another one of these, otherwise I'd do the bottom right away. So I'd have two 10-foot LED strips on here. And then wind up looping this again down at the bottom here. Again, I do it separate. I do these in separate partitions because the backs come off separately. So you don't want to have LED crossing this border line here. Make sure I don't hit that screw. There we go. Make sure that's looped good. I just kind of smooth it out. Again, don't cover your screws up. And I have extra here, so what am I going to do with the extra? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a diagonal right across the electrical information. You got to make sure you don't get this all bunched up so that you can't. Still going to have leftovers. So a lot of people are not too crazy about putting LEDs on these things. I've sold some of them and they've taken them off right away. And if I have any extra, I just kind of throw it up on the side there. So I'm covered pretty well on the top part at least. I'll get another one for the bottom here. Let me get my USB extension. So all my parts I keep in these little baskets here. Little things, these also come from Walmart, these little containers. But this is a container that I keep all my USB extension cords. So these are USB 2.0 extension cords, and if you look on them, it says Amazon Basics. So Amazon Basics USB 2.0 extension cords, male to female. And what I'll do is I'll run this USB cable over to my USB source. This is what I typically do for all of them. Some of them I don't, like the pinballs, I don't have USB or lights on. I did for a time on the Star Wars, which you can't see right now, but all right, so we got USB power. The light is on. I'll get my little remote control, take it out of the package, remove the battery protector to activate the battery. And so I can change in any color. Red, green, blue, white. To make it flash different colors if I wanted. You can do strobe, fades, which are kind of nice for ambiance. So that's the fades, and then you can do smooth. So there's no fading in the smooth transitions. You can change the brightness. So if you wanted the brightness to go down a little bit, you can alter that. So varying colors. Like here's orange. I'd probably use this color for, this says orange, but it doesn't really look orangey to me. Does it look to you? Yeah, it kind of does. So I'd probably use this color for the back. That's more orange. That's what I use on Burger Time. But yeah, simple controls. I have one for every cabinet, and I usually keep a remote for every cabinet just to alter the colors if I need to. But this is just like a final step in a cabinet build for me. And again, I'll get another one for the bottom. But yeah, that's that. So welcome to the Quarter Deck Arcade Big Buck Hunter. Turn it back around here. I'm for placement right now. Get this garbage up. For placement, I'm actually going to put it here on the center of the carpet. like right there. Let's see how it looks on my stream. Might back it up a little bit. And then what I'm thinking about doing is bringing my At Games Legends pinball out and butting it up against this, just to fill in the center. So for now, that's where it's going to be. Turn it back on here. Leftover sticker on here. All right. Well, wow, 3 hours in. I went on for 3 hours with this. And granted, I know we talked about some stuff too up front, but a typical build of one of these does not take 3 hours. It only takes you, at most, it should take you between an hour and a half to 2 hours. I take my time, try to explain things as good as I can. But yeah, that's it. Oh man, am I bushed? Well, guys, that's about all I have for today. It's enough, really. A 3-hour stream on building Big Buck Hunter. So, thanks everybody that popped in and contributed to the chat. I really appreciate all of you. I really do. This is a hobby for me, and the fact that upwards of 9-10 people join my streams every now and then makes me very happy. So, this is something to have fun with and smile and have a good time, and get some advice too, if I need it. I'll probably do a video down the line of my thoughts of Big Buck Hunter a month later, 2 months later. We'll see. Just to update everybody and what my thoughts are then of the game. As I said, my initial impressions is I love this cabinet. So, everybody, thanks for joining the show. One thing I will say that we got a holiday weekend coming up here. Stay safe, be safe, and have a good week, guys. Thanks a lot for all your support. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe, everybody. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much.